Everyday English at the Doctor's Clinic. English Lounge Lily. Hello, my friend. I'm Lily, and welcome to English Lounge. I'm so happy you're here today. Whether you're relaxing at home, drinking a warm cup of tea, driving to work, or simply taking a break, thank you for bringing me along. Here at English Lounge, we don't just learn English, we live it. Through real conversations, real situations, and stories that could happen to anyone. Today, we're going somewhere that most of us will visit at some point in life. A doctor's clinic. Maybe you felt nervous before visiting a doctor, especially in English. I completely understand. I've felt exactly the same. But don't worry. Today, I'll be right beside you. We'll learn together, one conversation at a time. So, let's begin. This morning, I woke up feeling a little strange. My throat felt sore. My head was heavy. I swallowed slowly. Ouch, that doesn't feel good. I looked outside the window. It was a beautiful morning. I had planned to meet a friend for coffee, but honestly, I didn't feel like leaving the house. Maybe I just need more sleep, I thought. So I made myself a warm cup of tea. I sat quietly on the sofa. I hoped I'd feel better. 30 minutes later, I still had a sore throat. Now I had a small cough too. I looked at myself in the mirror. "You don't look very energetic today, Lily." I smiled, even though I didn't feel my best. Then I asked myself an important question. Should I wait another day? Or should I see a doctor? I think you already know my answer. Sometimes, it's better to check early, especially when you're not feeling well. So, I picked up my phone. It was time to book an appointment. Now imagine you're sitting beside me. Would you know what to say? Many English learners worry about making that phone call, but it's actually much easier than you think. Let's do it together. The receptionist answers. "Good morning, Green Valley Medical Clinic, how may I help you?" I smile. "Good morning. I'd like to book an appointment, please." "Of course. Is this your first visit?" "Yes, it is." "No problem. May I have your name, please?" "My name is Lily." "Thank you, Lily. What seems to be the problem today?" "I've had a sore throat since yesterday. I also have a cough. I'm not feeling very well." "I understand. We have an appointment available at 11 o'clock. Would that work for you?" "Yes, that's perfect. We'll see you then. Thank you very much." "My pleasure." The call ends. See? That wasn't difficult at all. Let's remember 3 very useful sentences. I'd like to book an appointment. I've had a sore throat. I'm not feeling very well. You don't need complicated English. Simple, clear, and polite is always enough. A little later, I put on a light jacket, grab my bag, and leave the house. The clinic isn't very far away. As I walk, I notice people enjoying their morning. Someone is walking a happy little dog. A young father is pushing a stroller. A lady is carrying fresh flowers. Life continues, even when we don't feel our best. After a short walk, I finally arrive at the clinic. It's clean, quiet, and surprisingly relaxing. The automatic doors open. Inside, everything feels calm. Soft music is playing. The waiting room is bright. There are comfortable chairs, a few magazines, and a small table with children's books. A little boy is quietly coloring a picture while his mother smiles beside him. Everyone speaks softly. It feels peaceful. I walk to the reception desk. The receptionist smiles warmly. "Good morning. How can I help you today?" "Hi. I have an appointment with Dr. Sarah at 11. "Wonderful. May I have your full name, please?" "Lily." She checks the computer. "Perfect. Could you please confirm your date of birth?" I tell her. Then she smiles again. "Thank you. Please take a seat. The doctor will see you shortly." "Thank you." I walk over to an empty chair. And now, we wait. Waiting rooms are interesting places. Nobody talks very much. Everyone has their own thoughts. Some people are reading, some are looking at their phones. Others simply sit quietly. As I wait, I think about something. A few years ago, I would have been nervous speaking English in a clinic. I worried about saying the wrong thing. I worried people wouldn't understand me. But today, I feel much more confident. Not because my English is perfect, but because I know something important. People aren't expecting perfection. They're simply trying to help. And that's a wonderful feeling. So if you're learning English, please don't be afraid. Speak slowly, smile, use simple sentences. And remember, every conversation makes you a little better than yesterday. Just then, I hear my name. Lily? I look up. A friendly doctor is standing at the door, smiling. It's nice to meet you. Please come in. I smile back, take a deep breath, and follow her into the consultation room. I have a feeling this conversation is going to teach us much more than just English. I follow the doctor into her office. The room feels bright, clean, and welcoming. There are plants near the window, a computer on the desk, medical books on a shelf, and a comfortable chair waiting for me. The doctor smiles warmly. Please, have a seat. Thank you. I sit down, take a small breath, and relax. The doctor looks at me kindly. So, Lily, what brings you in today? That's actually a wonderful question. You'll hear it very often in English-speaking countries. What brings you in today? It simply means, why are you here today? I smile politely. I've had a sore throat since yesterday. I also have a cough. And this morning, I woke up with a headache. The doctor nods. I'm sorry to hear that. Have you had a fever? I don't think so. But I've been feeling very tired. I understand. Have you taken any medicine? Only some pain relief last night. Did it help? A little, but not for very long. The doctor types a few notes into the computer. Then she looks back at me. Any allergies? Not that I know of. Are you taking any regular medication? No. Any medical conditions? No. That's good. See how natural this conversation feels? Nobody is using difficult English. They're simply asking short, clear questions, and you're answering honestly. That's exactly how real conversations happen. The doctor smiles. All right. I'm just going to check your temperature. No problem. She places the thermometer on my forehead. A few seconds later, it beeps. Your temperature is normal. That's good news. I smile. I was hoping you'd say that. The doctor laughs too. Now, could you open your mouth, please? Sure. Say, ah. Ah. She checks my throat with a small light. Your throat is a little red. That explains the soreness. Next, she listens to my breathing. Take a deep breath. I breathe in slowly. And breathe out. Again. Deep breath. And out. Everything sounds fine. Your lungs are clear. That's great. Then she checks my ears. Everything looks normal. Finally, she sits back down. Well, Lily, the good news is, this looks like a common viral infection. You don't need antibiotics. Your body simply needs a little time to recover. Honestly, I feel relieved. Sometimes, hearing good news from a doctor is the best medicine. The doctor continues. I'd recommend plenty of rest. Drink lots of water. Warm tea with honey may help your throat. And if your headache gets worse, or you develop a high fever, please come back. I will. Thank you. Then I ask something many people want to know. About how long will it take to feel better? She smiles. Most people start feeling better within a few days. Just don't overwork yourself. I laugh quietly. I'll try. Although, if I'm honest, I'm not always very good at resting. Maybe you're the same. Do you also tell yourself, I'll rest tomorrow, even when you know you probably should rest today? The doctor smiles. I hear that every day. Then she prints a prescription. I'll give you something to help with the sore throat. You can collect it at any pharmacy. Wonderful. Thank you very much. My pleasure. Before leaving, I decide to ask a few more questions. They're simple, but very useful. Should I take the medicine before food or after food? After food. How many times a day should I take it? Twice a day. For how many days? 5 days. Perfect. Now I know exactly what to do. Let's quickly remember those questions. Should I take it before or after food? How many times a day? For how many days? These are questions you'll use for almost any medicine. They're practical, easy to remember, and very useful. The doctor stands up. It was lovely meeting you today. I hope you feel better soon. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. You too. I leave the consultation room feeling much more relaxed. Not only because I know what's wrong, but because I successfully had an entire conversation in English. And you know what? So did you. Without even noticing, you understood everything. You followed the questions. You followed the answers. That's real progress. As I walk back through the waiting room, I smile to myself. Sometimes, confidence doesn't arrive all at once. It arrives one conversation at a time. And today, you've just had one more conversation in English. That's something to be proud of. Now, let's stop by the pharmacy together, collect the medicine, learn a few more useful English expressions, and finish our day with a warm cup of soup. Because after visiting the doctor, I think we've earned it. As I walk out of the doctor's office, I already feel much better. Not because I'm completely healthy yet, but because I finally know what's wrong. Sometimes, not knowing is the hardest part. Once someone explains everything clearly, our minds become much calmer. I smile to myself. That wasn't scary at all. Actually, it was much easier than I expected. Maybe I was worrying for no reason. Has that ever happened to you? You imagine something will be difficult, and then it turns out to be much easier. Life has a funny way of teaching us lessons like that. The receptionist smiles as I walk past. I hope you feel better soon. Thank you so much. You too. Have a lovely day. Those simple conversations only take a few seconds, but they make people feel welcome. Never underestimate the power of kindness. Sometimes a smile and a few friendly words can completely change someone's day. The pharmacy is only a short walk away. As I open the door, I notice how bright and organized everything looks. Shelves are filled with medicine, vitamins, baby products, and skincare items. A pharmacist smiles warmly. Hello, how can I help you today? Hi, I'd like to collect my prescription, please. Certainly. May I see your prescription? Of course. I hand it over. She looks at the paper, walks to a shelf, and returns a few moments later. Here you are. Before leaving, I decide to ask a few questions. These questions are useful no matter where you live. Could you explain how to take this medicine? Of course. Take one tablet after breakfast and another after dinner. Should I drink plenty of water? Yes, that's a very good idea. Are there any side effects? You may feel a little sleepy, so avoid driving if you feel tired. Thank you. You're welcome. Did you notice something? I didn't feel nervous asking questions, because that's exactly what healthcare professionals want you to do. If you're unsure, ask. If you don't understand, ask again. There is absolutely nothing wrong with saying, "Could you explain that again, please?" In fact, it's one of the most useful English sentences you can learn. Let's say it together. Could you explain that again, please? Beautiful. That's real English. Simple, natural, useful. After leaving the pharmacy, I suddenly realized something. I'm hungry. Maybe talking all morning made me hungry. Or maybe I'm just thinking about food because the doctor told me to eat before taking my medicine. Either way, I decide to stop at a small cafe nearby. The cafe is quiet. Soft music is playing. The smell of fresh soup, warm bread, and coffee fills the room. Exactly what I needed. A friendly waitress walks over. "Good afternoon. What can I get for you today?" I smile. "I think I'll have the chicken soup, please, and a cup of hot tea." "Great choice. I'll bring it over shortly." A few minutes later, my lunch arrives. The soup is warm, the bread is fresh, the tea smells wonderful. I slowly take my first spoonful. That's exactly what my throat needed. Sometimes, the simplest meals are the most comforting. As I sit quietly, looking out of the window, I begin thinking about today. This morning, I wasn't feeling well. I felt worried, a little nervous, and honestly, I wasn't looking forward to speaking English at the clinic. But look what happened. I booked my appointment, I spoke with the receptionist, I explained my symptoms, I understood the doctor's questions, I collected my medicine, and now I'm enjoying a peaceful lunch, all in English. You know what this means? It means you can do it too. You don't need perfect grammar, you don't need a perfect accent, you don't need difficult vocabulary. You only need the courage to start. One sentence, one question, one conversation. That's how confidence grows. Not overnight, little by little, day by day. Before we finish today, let's remember a few useful expressions together. I'd like to book an appointment. I have a sore throat. I've had a headache since yesterday. I have an appointment. Could you explain that again, please? Should I take this before or after food? How many times a day should I take it? Thank you for your help. These are real English sentences, and one day, you might actually use them. As I leave the cafe, the afternoon sun feels warm on my face. I take one slow, deep breath. Today reminded me of something important. Speaking English isn't about sounding perfect. It's about connecting with people. It's about asking for help, understanding the answer, and feeling confident enough to keep the conversation going. Every conversation teaches you something. Every mistake helps you grow. And every small success brings you one step closer to fluency. Thank you so much for spending part of your day with me. I truly hope this story helped you feel more confident, more relaxed, and a little more excited about speaking English. Next time you visit a doctor or any new place, remember, you already know more English than you think. Trust yourself, speak slowly, smile, and don't be afraid to ask questions. People are kinder than we often imagine. I'm Lily, and this is English Lounge. Thank you for listening. Until our next adventure, keep speaking, keep learning, keep smiling, and remember, every conversation opens a new door. Take care of yourself, stay healthy, and I'll see you again very soon. Goodbye.